So do you see the movie as a companion film to Interstellar, since this movie is about Matt Damon trying to survive on a hostile planet?
No, I don't see them as companion pieces, but the characters' situations are startlingly similar. Yeah, definitely.
Would you describe the movie as like Castaway meets Mission to Mars? And how would you pitch this film? What's so compelling about this film and inspiring?
Well, the script just showed up at my house, and I read it, and I just thought it was fantastic, I hadn't been aware of the book, and then I realized the book was, this big book that everybody was getting interested in. I read the book, and I loved the book too, and it's just about a guy who gets left on Mars. And has to figure out a way to survive on this totally inhospitable planet until a rescue can be mounted to come get him. And so it's really exciting. There's a lot of really interesting science in it, and it's all based in fact. It was written by a science enthusiast, and he really lets the science kind of dictate the story. So yeah, I mean, I guess Castaway meets Mission to Mars might be a good way to describe it. I mean, it's different from Castaway in the sense that I'm alone, but I'm leaving like a video journal. So I'm alone, but I have the expectation that somebody's watching me. Whereas if you're on a desert island, you know that it's you and the volleyball, and that's it.
And the FedEx box.
And the FedEx box.
So was it a challenge, making this film with just yourself in the shots and
Yeah, I mean, I think that challenge falls more on Ridley Scott. As a director, you've got to try to keep the audience interested and entertained. And so I was interested in doing it because I was doing scenes by myself, which I'd never really done before. But I think it's that kind of risk is mitigated when you're working with someone like Ridley, who's just a master.
How realistic is this film in terms of recreating life in space and in Mars? What was the most complex aspect to making it real and to make the perfect movie illusion?
I think probably the hardest is like the 40% gravity. Like Mars has 40% of the Earth's gravity, and so Ridley played with speed changes a little bit with the film, so that he overcranked a little bit. Well, I guess it was digital, so but probably 28, maybe 30 frames a second to make it look like the gravity wasn't the same as Earth's. But that's the kind of thing, like you have to just do it in a few places and just suggest it, because you'll never actually get kind of less than half the Earth's gravity believably, basically.
So do you think making this type of project is more about the experience of doing it than the filmmaking aspect of doing it?
Well, it's both. I mean, look, making this kind of thing, ultimately we want to make a movie that people really think is awesome and want to go see. I mean, that way we all get to keep working. So that's always the goal. You want to make something that's really entertaining. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, for me, it's how I spend my time. So I always want the experience to be fun.
What are the themes explored in The Martian, showing how someone can become a genius to confront, being able to survive, or what theme?
I mean, yeah, it follows these astronauts are pretty spectacular people, and they are geniuses, incredibly physically fit geniuses who, if anybody could survive on a planet by themselves, it would be one of these people. But no, I think the themes are about the kind of universal sense of our struggle to survive and to, and to live. What sacrifices are we willing to make for each other? What sacrifices are we willing to make for kind of the greater, more nobler causes that kind of will help humanity downstream, and at what price?